context in terms of the crime. We have seen a high rise in the crime, and you yourself were a victim of car thefts. And what is the hurdles in front of government of Canada in terms of making changes to the criminal code? Because a couple of years ago also we heard that Justice Department is working to make the changes in the criminal code, and today international media is projecting Canada as a hub for capital of the car theft market. And recent example of a biggest gold heist in Canadian history, second biggest. The criminal who was caught in US is facing trial and may face 20 years of prison. All other criminals here in Canada, they are enjoying their luxury lives, and they are repeated offenders sitting at their houses enjoying their luxury lives. Why we leave them? Don't we have enough prisons? Or government knows everything, so why we are leaving them again and again? Because police, they are also helpless, chiefs are helpless. Why can't we keep criminals behind the bars? It's a question to the Justice Department. Thank you.
So thank you for the question. And what I'd just respectfully point out to you is that we've amended the criminal code twice in the last 10 months vis-a-vis specifically what you're referring to. So the first amendment was Bill C-48, which passed with unanimous consent in Parliament in September. And that dealt with bail reform, which included things like violent carjackings where people use a weapon. Any serious violent repeat offenders that are using weapons were provided we provided what's called a reverse onus. So the presumption was no bail unless they can prove why bail is deserved. Secondly, what I would just point out for your edification is that in June, in the budget, which passed before we adjourned for the summer recess, we again had the ability to pass amendments to the criminal code despite conservative opposition in that context. But the changes we made to the criminal code address specifically violent carjackings, which we are starting to see, and included enhanced penalties for such incidences. You heard me respond in French to the previous journalist about changes that we made where organized criminals are using youth in the commission of crimes. We also addressed the fact that when organized criminality is behind an orchestrated auto theft situation, that enhanced penalties will be put in place. So the criminal code has been amended twice with respect to violent offenders and with respect to auto theft. We've also invested almost $170 million in everything from Interpol to the CBSA to scanning devices. And I hope you followed the recent announcements. I also hope you followed the news today that's reported by CTV News that in the first quarter of this year, auto thefts were actually declining. So that's showing you that the investments that we're making, criminal code changes we're making, are taking root. That's important. There's still a lot more work to be done. I'm in constant contact with the GTA police chiefs as well as in Quebec, because that's where the nub of the problem is, about how we can further strengthen our protection on this. With respect to the question you asked, Julie, I would just also point out that we're making initiatives to help Canadians in their pocketbooks with a number of things that they can do to help reduce their own climate footprint. This strategy is about large-scale changes to your home, but there's also, I would be remiss not to note that yesterday was the second anniversary, the second quarterly payment of the Canada Carbon Rebate. For a family of four in the GTA, for example, that's $280 in your pocket, which you can then use to think about, do I want to buy a different appliance, do I want to buy a different thermostat, to reduce your carbon footprint. That's the way our government operates in terms of delivering for people's affordability needs and addressing climate action at the same time. Merci.